Okay guys, it's Quinn here. I'm in the car, just got done the gym session. I just wanted to add on like a part 2 for the last video. Sorry I don't have a tripod set up. If it's a little bit wobbly because I'm using my hand, but I'm gonna talk to you like I'm FaceTiming you. But yes, so basically in yoga, we speak of, yoga means union, the ancient Sanskrit Sanatan Dharma, not California-fied fucking yoga, basically. So what is Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva? These are the three things that rule the mind. The mind being the body and the mind, essentially, because they are both things that we have amassed at the exact same rate, essentially. So basically, Rajas is vibrancy. Rajas represents the energy that fluctuates in life. So basically, Rajas is associated with creativity, vitality, vibrance, bright. And then we have Tamas. Tamas is associated with basically the empty space between energy, or between particles. So these are the only two things that exist in the universe, which is energy and lack thereof. So Rajas, energy, Tamas, emptiness, essentially. So when we have energy and emptiness, then we require a kind of balance for creation to happen. So when we balance out energy and emptiness, we essentially, we get a form. Because, if you just have, if you know about art, if you just have negative space and no positive space, there, it's still two-dimensional. If you just have negative space or you just have positive space, it's still two-dimensional. So if it's just emptiness, there's 2D, it's flat, there's no form. If you just have energy, it's also flat, there is no form. So to create a 3D reality, we require an empty space from which to operate in. So the energy, basically, anything living is essentially like a vacuum. And a vacuum is a particular boundary. And this boundary has to be created by energy. So that is a form. When a boundary creates itself within the void, within the emptiness, when something takes shape, it can only happen in the lap of emptiness. So once we have a balance between reverberation, energy, and emptiness, we have sattva. Rajas, tamas, and sattva. Sattva is peace. Okay? So peace, balance, harmony. Like when you feel everything is going good in your life, you are very leveled out and you are driven and everything is in alignment. This is sattva. When you are, in an imbalanced state, you will lean towards rajas or tamas. So rajasic habits are essentially like super creative, or super energetic. Like you will become you will enjoy sports, you will always be active, you will be very loud, very energetic, almost irritating. This is when you lean, too much towards rajas. We could even call it ADHD is a product of the imbalance in leaning towards the rajas side. And then we have tamas. Tamas, emptiness. When you are imbalanced, you go from sattva to rajas, then you have kind of like ADHD. And then you go from sattva to tamas, which is depression. You don't want to do anything. You're lazy. Maybe you're fat. Maybe you're just deflated. And a lot of us, like normal people that are kind of moving from rajas to tamas all the time, this is the nature of most people, from, bursts of energy to, these waves of depression, bursts of energy, waves of depression. This is essentially, it's easily observable. You can see your mind is constantly shifting between these two. But when you balance these two things, energy and lack thereof, you become a balanced person. You are clearly discernible from other people. And this builds, a certain kind of presence. And this presence, people will pick up on this presence. And it's known as grace. Because when you are balanced, you can raise your vibration and lower your vibration as required. You can dip into rajas, you can become extremely intense, and then you can immediately come back to balance. Or you can become extremely quiet and extremely calm and empty, in meditation. And then you can come out of it and rebalance yourself. So the main topic of this video is balancing rajas and tamas to attain sattva. How do we do this? So in the last video, which you should go and watch if you want to understand what's going on here, I discussed the five senses. The five senses are where we receive all forms of stimulus: hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling, and touch. So all of these things can be overloaded. All of these things can become overstimulated, or they can become understimulated. So it's the same with rajas and tamas. When you eat something extremely sweet, you basically are super stimulated. Your energy is bursting. And when you eat something very salty and bitter, like soup, when you're sick, you fall asleep almost. You start relaxing. You just want to ease up, like a hot soup on a cold day, or even alcohol. It's very bitter, and it's almost a lack of flavor that is creating this bitterness, or this, what's going on there, and that relaxes you. So it's tamas. And when you drink soda, like Fanta or Coke, you are super stimulated, and you are in a state of rajas. So to balance this out, let's look at all the different forms of high stimulus for each sense. So we have seeing, like you're watching anime, like these crazy anime music videos, or you're watching these series that you really enjoy, and it's overstimulating. It's like movies, the music, the cinematics. It's super stimulating. Listening to rap, super loud music, like funk and all these genres that are so hyper stimulating. And then we come to like touch. Of course, you can understand, maybe, yeah, I don't even have to go into that. You know what I'm talking about. And then food. You're eating, a lot of sugar, and a lot of sweet things, super sweet things. Yeah, so essentially, you need to look at what you are putting into your mind. The senses are feeding your mind information, okay? And you need to have balance when it comes to the things that you are putting into this memory bank, because this memory bank governs the next thing that you are going to look for. This is the nature of karma. Karma is the cyclical creation. It is the memory, all the energy that you have amassed through these 5 senses is your karma. For instance, if you eat something extremely sweet and you really enjoy it, and you have enough money, the next day you're probably going to buy it again. If you have access to a partner and you enjoy, intimate time with that partner, and you have access all the time to that person, you will likely do that up to, 2 times per day, and you will fall out of balance. Whether it's music, whether it's food, whether it's, what you're watching, be very moderate. If you're going to eat something very sweet, be very moderate. But just make sure that in your general life, you are eating, seeing, smelling, and hearing and feeling things, at a balanced state. This is how you will attain real health. Just observe what you are putting into yourself, and the outcome will be absolutely amazing. But anyways, guys, I have to go. I know that was a little bit jumbled up, but I just needed to add on to what I said yesterday. So yes, watch how you are stimulating yourself, and really try to understand the technicality of what I just said. All the memory that you have amassed is your karma, and this will lead you in circles. It'll leave a nice taste in your mouth, and it will draw you to that thing again. Or, the same goes for all the senses. But anyways, guys, I will see you very soon.